My name is Angie Moranga. You're watching Just Angie, where we have the most amazing conversations. And I'm loving the topic. I told you we'll be talking about skills for purposeful living, how women are living with excellence and living in purpose and doing the things that they're doing. And each one will come with their own version and their own variety. And the guest I have today is very special to me. I think I say that about all my guests, but she's really special to me. Stash, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Apostle Angie.
I'm so grateful that you're here.
Oh, I am delighted to be here.
I'm so happy. So I want you to look into that camera.
Yes.
Just introduce yourself to my Just Angie family, how you want them to know you.
Yes.
And then we're going to have a conversation.
All right. Okay. Hello, Just Angie family. My name is Anastasia Mugambi. I know I've been introduced as Stash because that's the name most people refer me to. I'm a wife. I have two amazing kids, actually one teen and one twin. And I'm really excited to be here.
I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful. It's so amazing. So I've known you from afar for many years, and then recently we got closer. But so how did your journey start in what you do? Because you're an architect.
I am.
You are a very seasoned architect, actually.
Yes.
I've just remembered, I'm asking that question and I got to one of our friends' houses and I said, who did this house? And the husband is an architect, so I thought she'd say husband, then she said Stash. I was like, wow, Stash.
Oh,
really, really amazing. So how did your journey start?
So it started many years ago because I've been practicing now. I've been in the industry for almost 23 years.
23 years.
23
wow.
years.
I feel when you say it sounds shocking.
I know, even for me.
I know,
Even
23
for me.
years.
I have, because
Wow,
that's when
Stash.
I graduated. Yeah.
Wow.
So I think I will start from way back. My late father was an architect, a brilliant architect.
Yes.
So he was the one who inculcated in me
Really?
the love for architecture
Okay.
and the built environment. You can imagine our house, first and foremost, was always being pulled
Really?
apart and put
back
together. I
again.
think that was
Oh
his
my
canvas.
God. Oh my goodness. And then now you have to be married to special people. Me, you can't do that to me. Because me, I'm for order. And now your mom. Oh my God.
I know,
really?
she got used to the dust
Always
and everything.
removing this part, make it this
Or
way, do it
extending,
this
making
way.
it better.
Wow.
Yes. So I was always intrigued because I remember, so he worked, he had a day job, but he had, I think, this thing of doing other stuff, right? And he had friends who wanted him to design houses for them. Yeah.
Oh.
So in fact, my parents, they kept reminding us, after 9 to 5, would
You have
come
to have
home.
something else.
Yes. And my dad would do all these designs at night. My mom used to do typing and
Really? What? She type up the brief for everything?
specifications.
Really?
Yes, because you have to
They
decide
were
what's
such a lovely team.
They were such a strong team, and she'd say they'd sleep at
What?
1 in.the.morning. Doing
And
this.
you guys are not few. How many are you, Kwanzaa? Is it 8 or 9? Oh my goodness. Mom,
Yes,
we salute you.
I
What?
know, 1 of 8.
1 of 8 children.
Yes,
But I love the fact that they were tag teaming so well.
they did.
He does the drawings, Mom prepares the brief and the specifications of how it's going to be built.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they were a solid team, and they did this for many years. I don't even know how she did it because there were so many, so little. But I think they had this vision and they worked together. So they just got on with it. You just don't think about it,
Yeah, and I just feel also that women, maybe, I don't know if it's right to say that, but women from that day, and even I think from our day, were very strong.
Very.
There was a strength, and maybe there was no room given to fail.
No.
There was no room.
In fact, you didn't overthink things.
You just did it.
You just went along.
Who else was going to do it? You just
Yes,
did it.
exactly.
You did
exactly.
it, you flowed, you had strength. I don't think we had time to
wallow.
not do it or to think about how you're not going to do it. You just did it.
Yes.
And it was just expected.
Yes.
And you just did it.
And our parents also, Kali.
They were very Kali.
There was no for...
Attitude choices. I hear these people argue.
I have feelings,
And also my thoughts about it. We had no
No,
thoughts.
no,
The
we
thoughts
didn't.
would be thrown out of your head. Please, keep your thoughts somewhere else, not here. Yeah, so I feel
Exactly.
like that's also, I feel it's also made, it might not be, it's a blanket statement, but it's made a generation a bit weaker. They're not very strong. Because as guys, we just had to do what we had to do.
We did.
And we
did.
just did it. And just like your
Exactly.
mom, she couldn't overthink.
No.
The 8 children, husband is here we are.
No.
We just do this
And
thing.
she worked as well
I can
at the
imagine.
airport, Kenya Airways, for 25 years.
Wow.
So she'd wash nappies at night also.
And mind, there were no diapers.
I'm
so
just
you
like,
were there.
gosh,
Good
mommy,
Lord.
you are just so strong.
Yeah, but-
so that's the pedigree, I guess, I've come from. So
Mm.
fast forward, I guess now when it's time to decide what do you want to do, what, you know, what career path. So I've watched my dad many years going to sites. I follow him because
really?
staying at home, I felt it was so crowded. So I'd be like, Dad, please, can I come with you? I loved going to site with him. Actually, I'm a daddy's girl.
You're
Let's
a
put
daddy's
it that
girl
way.
completely,
Yes, yes. So I'd follow him. I'll watch him. Just this whole notion of a blank piece of paper. You draw something, you think through it, you draw it. And then next thing, you're on site, you know, and people are living or experiencing that piece of architecture.
Absolutely amazing.
And all of them are different. So for me, I think that's where the seed was planted, right? And he was like, yes, you can do it. I mean, for now, I know he was a feminist. The word wasn't there then. So we are 6 girls in the family and 2 brothers. And he encouraged us. There was nothing we couldn't do.
Yeah.
So of course, in the beginning, you're choosing some, you know, careers. They're like, sciences. Try the sciences. Try. And of course, architecture. There's the creative side. There's the arty side, but there's also the technical side. So I think the love for architecture really springboarded from home, from my father. Yeah.
From your father. Are you the only one in the family who's
No.
doing anything in
my
architecture?
younger sister, I've got Irene, my younger sister, she's an architect.
Irene, the one who served me so well.
Yes,
Oh, that woman
yes,
is amazing.
Yes.
Okay.
So we run the practice together.
Okay.
My brother who is a quantity surveyor, still in the built environment.
So still in the built environment. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. What have you learned? Because this is about skills for purposeful living. You've lived 23 years is a long time. At least I've seen 2 or 3 of your buildings.
Right.
I saw you're very diligent, very steady, very focused. Honestly, you really are. We can see it.
Yes.
And creative in your expression. I hope one day you build me something. I think
With
I've had that. You must build me something. We must build something together and see what happens.
Yes.
In that building.
I'd love to.
Thank you so much. What have you picked up in this environment?
Okay, so I've been lucky to live in 3 continents and work in 2 continents. Yeah. So I studied in England and I worked there, in South Africa as well, and now in Nairobi. And it's architecture, or this career I'm on, is one of like perseverance. You have to go the long haul. You can't start and get bored and not complete.
Really?
Yes. More and more women are coming into the field.
Okay.
I think there was that thing of it's too long, it's too hard, it's too male dominated. But I'm seeing many, many girls.
Good.
I get a lot of high school students who come to my office and just want to know what an architect does, and my sister. And it's encouraging to see.
Good.
It's not about male or female now. It's about merit. Can you do the work?
Okay.
So I've learned it's something that you're diligent at. You have to be a good leader because everything starts with us. The client comes to the architect, and then you run the show. So you have the consultants on one hand who are supporting you, and then post the design process, you have the actual construction on site.
Wow.
And you're leading this whole team. And when you're on site, you're the contract administrator. There's so many facets to architecture. I could go on forever. But you just have to be confident in yourself. And with experience, obviously, comes the muscle, you know, to be able to lead the team and to see the project through. So I always tell my young architects, architecture is not whether you can design, whether you can do this. It's a test of perseverance.
Really?
Yes.
To see it through.
To
That's what I'm
see
saying.
it
With all these
through.
moving parts,
Yes.
to see it through.
To see it through. And to be calm about it. Because you can imagine a lot can happen from day one. I mean, a project can take minimum 2 years. Minimum. So you just have to be composed and take one day at a time. And obviously, as an architect, you see the very end. Before everybody has seen it, you see the vision. You see
the end.
You see the end.
But it's a journey to get there.
The journey.
2 years.
Architecture is about process. If you don't like process, this is not your career.
I'm understanding that.
Yes.
You need process, and what I'm hearing you say, you also need to be consistent.
Very consistent.
Because 2 years, I get bored quickly. I'm always moving on to what?
No.
Let's do this and that. So you've got to stay there, stay consistent.
Yes.
I think what I heard you say as well, you've really got to be vested in the project.
Very.
So when you're doing a project, it has to be almost a passion.
I even call my projects my babies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you carry, and especially like with residential, there's Mr. and Mrs. So, you know, this one wants this, you know, you have to carry them and their emotions. And
you know, no wonder you're a diplomat. You know, you're a serious diplomat.
Am I?
From when I've engaged you, hey, you have some skills on diplomacy, which you have to, because
you have to.
There's a house, there's a vision, but
yes.
Mr. wants this, Mrs. wants
exactly.
this. Oh my goodness. Try to throw in the children, I don't even know.
You have to manage everybody.
You manage everybody, but you do it right.
You do it right, and then there's something we call duty of care to your client.
You have a duty of care.
You have a duty of care. That comes with construction law. You basically are responsible for your client's building. So, for example, if I go to site and I see something not right, I have the duty of care for my client to.
You have to say it.
To say it and make sure it's done. You know, there are corners cut. Sometimes,
people want to cut corners, and that must be because sometimes you work with contractors, so not everybody is the same.
No.
So for me, I'd see that would be where my frustration would be. But of course, you've overcome it 23 years. But are there some people who want to cut? They always want to cut corners in life.
There are
people.
There are.
So you have to enforce it. You have to look out for it.
Yes.
You know the signs to look out for.
You do, and luckily it's very meticulous. There's processes. You have other consultants who have their specialty: structural engineers, services engineers, the quantity surveyor. So you're always balancing costs with the foundations and everything to do with the building standing. And what the vision of the client is as well, right? Yes. So, where do I even start?
I know.
Oh my God!
It sounds like it's a lot, Sash.
So contractors come in all shapes and sizes. There are those who are diligent. We have fantastic contractors, but and this starts from the beginning of the process. When you go to tender, you must make sure that what the contractor has priced for has not been underpriced, for example, so that he gets the job. Then when he gets the job, he starts cutting corners because he doesn't have enough money to finish the work. So that's why it's a process. You have your quantity surveyor, you have your tendering process, and you must make sure there are no errors in the bills of quantities. But yes, so when you go to site, I mean, fundis, contractors, they're humans, you know.
Fundis,
yes, fundis. You know, the plumber forgot to remove they put the bag in the downpipe and forgot to remove the bag. So it's rained and you're wondering why everything is flooding, you know. Just you have to be on top of things. Let's put it that way.
And you have to manage it day to day.
You have to. Luckily, I'm not on site every day, but you have project managers, you have foremen, you have leaders now on the site who now walk about. Is what we call the clerk of works. They're there all the time. So it starts from the top. If you inculcate to them the discipline, and then you're no nonsense. Hey, they know me. Stash. Mama,
kikuja hapa. Good. That's what I want them to know. Mama kikuja hapa is called
she will make noise. Just do it.
Just do it the right way. That is a good. Me, I'm happy with that.
I'm known to
I
make
really
noise
am.
Because you shouldn't accept less.
And then you know what I'm thinking? It's your legacy forever. It will always stand there for you, you know, for your organization,
right,
or for you as the architect, either personally or even as an organization. It will always stand that this is what you did.
Yes.
So people should not cut corners.
Exactly.
For you. Oh my goodness.
And remember, it's taken me how many years to get certification?
Like 6? Is it 6?
7 years in college, and then you do a final exam. I mean, it's a long process. It's hard.
It's like
architecture
a
is hard. It's like a doctor. You don't want to lose your license because first of all, you want to do the right thing, and then you don't cut corners. So you must speak when you see things are not done properly. And then at the end of the day, why are we not giving the client the best?
What they want, what they had asked for.
And the workmanship. So you can't take shortcuts. Not at all. Not on my watch, at least.
Not on your watch.
No, not on my watch.
I wanted to ask you what you've learned.
Yes.
And what you've learned on this journey. What have you learned? Even about yourself.
Yes. So, of course, when I started, when I was a young architect, very driven, wanted to, conquer every project. But you realize, first of all, you have to learn to work as a team. You can't work alone. You can't work alone.
I can see all those moving parts.
Yes. There's so many moving parts. And then because architecture is wide, by the time you're starting from the design, putting the sketch to handing the key to the client, there are so many facets. So what I've learned is to know what my strengths are within that process.
That's amazing.
Yes. And then find people who can plug in on aspects that maybe you're not so keen on, or there's fatigue in a project. You don't want to run the whole course. So plug in with other people who can deliver with you, have the same values,
And I think that will work anywhere. Because we've got to get to the point where we know these are my strengths. These are not the things. These are things that I'm not so great at.
Exactly.
And so you get other people to plug in and to work. And then I love the teamwork thing.
Yes.
That you have to learn to work with people.
You have
That's
to.
Powerful.
You don't even have a choice. You don't know everything.
You can't execute
you
this
don't know
project
everything.
by yourself.
And you see, projects are different. Sites are different. Soil types are different. There's a technical side of architecture. You can't possibly know everything. So work with people. Obviously, that whole start and finish was inculcated from when we were young. I remember, just digressing, when I went to boarding school, I went to Precious Blood in Ruruta. And it was such a shock to my system. I wanted to go to boarding school, but I didn't realize, hey, cold water, I mean, it was run by nuns, but it was military. Oh my gosh. And I remember, my mom and dad saying, look, you wanted to go to boarding school. You made the choice. You're here now.
You've got to go the long haul.
Just go the long haul.
Just finish.
Oh my gosh. And we finished happily, and we finished well.
And there must be something they instilled in you.
Yes.
All the nun schools that I know, the convent schools, discipline was there, but they brought order. When we look at our lives now, we can see that there was a need.
Exactly.
And they had to be militant. How?
Exactly.
How are they not going to be militant?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So what else have I learned? I've learned be kind to yourself. There are times a project doesn't go the way you want it to go. Wow. You can literally, architecture can also be very lonely because this thing is in your head. Then you have to put it out there, communicate, make sure everyone understands what you're really looking at. So there's a point when you're just by yourself, thinking through everything. So you have to give yourself just space. Yeah. And just say, look, maybe this didn't turn out the way I wanted, or it's a bit hard right now. We'll get there, be kind to yourself. So those are the main lessons. And don't go to do architecture because you hear you'll become very rich. I don't know why. It is very wrong. Yes.
I feel like you have to have passion for what you want to do.
Oh my gosh, passion is everything, because you will not be able to do a 2-year project if you won't be able to
sustain it.
No.
And that's where then we have the shortcut people, the people who really are not here for the right reasons. Because for you, I can imagine you want to see the project complete.
Yes.
That's
complete well.
That's what you want. So if you're going in this for the money, you will not want to see the project complete. You don't care. You just want money.
You want to finish.
Is so wrong.
Yeah, and you find now the whole copy-paste mentality, which is very, you see it a lot, unfortunately. But I always pride myself, and our design company, we are design-led. So a client will come probably and say, just design my neighbors. In fact, here are the drawings, what? It looks so beautiful.
Please, Stash, don't make me faint now. Design my neighbors.
Yeah, they'll even bring you drawings.
Where did they get the drawings for the neighbor?
You can find those drawings. You just drive to the site and ask the foreman.
Oh Lord,
yes,
really? But no,
categorically refused.
Good, thank you.
I always say no, you can't, because that client went through a process, and that house is for them, or that project is theirs. Why do you want to copy?
Oh my goodness.
Right? Learn. So I manage clients. I always tell them, trust me, just trust me. It'll be fine. Just walk with me. And really, at the end, they're very happy. Yeah, because they've been part of it. They have invested time to say, okay, I like this, I don't like this. I have 3 kids, or my family functions in this way. So we need the flow of the house to be like this, or, whatever it is. Yeah, so you have to, it's a multifaceted career. So there's so many things you do and pick up on, and it's fun. And for a woman, I must say, when now you start a family and you need a bit of downtime, you can open your little office at home.
Yeah.
You can still continue with your career from home. You can, pull out your computer, your designs and everything. It's very malleable. It's very good for moms, for women, actually.
Because it will allow you to sort of take control with your time.
Exactly.
You can be flexible with your time.
You can be very flexible.
Can work. You need your laptop. That's what you need.
Yes.
And then you can work.
Yes, you can work.
You can design.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And then I was going to ask you about your leadership, because you realize that this is a leadership thing.
Yes.
Being an architect is really about leading different people.
It is.
And maybe what have you learned from leading different people?
Well, first of all, you have to learn to know yourself first.
Yeah.
I used to be, when I started out, I was very impatient. I think when you come from those European countries,
where there is order,
oh God, and a deadline is a deadline.
Yeah.
Then you come home.
I don't want to lie for you. And you come and deal with, because we're Kenyans, we can say, you come and deal with people who tell you, I'll be there at 10.
Yes.
But really what they mean is they'll be there at 3. I'm just thinking, me, I just don't understand. If I say 10, it is 10.
Or if I've said, so the way we obviously learned is we have a deadline on Friday, so can we finish everything by Wednesday and do a dry run or whatever?
Yes,
my God, on Friday, you are screeching to print drawings and I don't know, I first had to learn, I had to relearn the culture here. The leader, and it depends on where you are, So I was very impatient. I just could not understand. So I was, I could really make noise, but I've learned to just accept that not everyone works like that. So now instead of saying that
the
it's
deadline
due
is
on
Friday,
Wednesday, or
you say that's the other week.
Yes,
you say that's you say the other week, 2 weeks ahead.
2 weeks ago, because I'm the one who's agreed with the client when we're doing the presentation.
So that now we can do the screeching. And there's something about Kenyans. Kenyans love screeching.
Screeching is the order of the day.
I think we're adrenaline people. We just want to now rush around like headless chicken on Wednesday and just do it. And maybe it's creatives as well.
I think so. Yeah, because you see, let me say this. You meet the client, you get the brief, you start designing, you sketch. Then you have somebody. Now I don't do everything, so I get somebody to do it on the computer to do something.
That's the technician.
Yeah, the technician. Then you need somebody who will do a 3-dimensional look for it. See, there's another person. Then, whoever else, a renderer. So now if somebody sleeps along there, wow.
All of you are in trouble.
Crazy, yeah.
Like it cascades down the line.
Yes. So what you have to learn as a leader in this field is you must be in touch with everybody.
Okay.
Pick up the phone, walk to their table, see what they're doing, be involved. It's a very hands-on career. You have to know what people are doing. So in fact, during COVID, it was pretty difficult because we need to see drawings. Yes, you can have something on the screen that you're discussing, but in-house discussions and meetings as a team was critical, but we worked around it. And then you just have to be, what I've learned is you just have to be able to accept different personalities. I've always been seen as very sort of young, because you'll start a project, the engineer is much older, they're your senior. But you're the team lead.
You're the architect.
You're the architect.
Wow.
So it shouldn't go to your head. So you should be able to respect that. You don't know everything. So even out of the construction design, he'll counsel me. When things are not going the way you want, he'll be your friend. He'll handhold you. So again, leadership, teamwork, bringing people together, right? What else have I learned?
And have they been like now with the engineers and the different players that you say, let's say, are older? Were they maybe sometimes expecting an older architect and maybe an older male? So I'm just wondering when they see whether they maintain the poker face or they're like, what happened?
The good thing is I choose my team.
Oh.
So they already know me.
Okay.
Yes, I choose.
So as an architect, you could choose the team that you're going to work with.
Most often than not, you get to choose. Sometimes the client is very specific and they bring
their team?
Certain people, yes. Most often, a client will be of the view you bring the team you're comfortable working with, and they'll bring that, and they'll let you go in and choose your consultants. Sometimes they bring others. Yeah, so there can be quite situations where you get that, a bit of pushback, but generally, once you start the job, you deliver, and you get on with it. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it's, are you able to deliver? Yeah.
So I'm amazed. So what I've gotten to, as we come to a conclusion, like you can, but I'm thinking the skills now required for this is, I think it's leadership. You think you're going to do architecture, you need to be a leader. You need to work with other people. You need to work with teams on the ground. You need to work with everyone. You need to give them opportunity.
Yes.
You need to understand the culture. And if this culture is driving you crazy, you just feel like you're hitting a wall, like move backwards. So move deadlines.
Yes.
Backwards.
Yes. Make it work.
Make it work so
make
that
it
works, you know? And then you have to be able to go through the long haul. There's consistency. Projects take time.
Yes.
So you need to have passion for the project.
Must do.
And to see the end result, be committed to an excellent end result. That is so amazing. I've learned a lot, and I like to draw parameters, because I will draw parameters like that about things in my life. What do I need to do? How do I need to be more patient? How do I need to understand it's just the culture? You can change, you can change it, because I think you can change a few, but not to pull your hair out, because it's the culture. Yes. It's how people do things.
Yes.
Yeah. What about you? What is your parting shot? And I've really loved this conversation.
Thank you. I have loved being here. My parting shot is that women should excel in anything and everything. We shouldn't box ourselves into certain subjects or certain careers. And look for a mentor. Look for people who will, boost your confidence, tell you can make it. That was my father in my life. He was passionate about education and seeing us excel in areas that maybe were not conventional. So definitely look for people who will guide you, who will support you, and who will love on you. And then just enjoy it. Architecture is fun. It's fun. Travel, explore, because you have to see different places. You
can't have a narrow vision.
No. You must travel and see all these beautiful structures out there.
And when you say travel, I remember when, like, the people maybe say, I don't have the money to travel. The internet is your place.
Yes.
Start there.
Travel
there.
Yes.
Dream there. Go to different destinations. I wanted to ask you, did you ever do any projects with your dad?
Oh, yes.
Really?
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, yes. My God, we have to talk about that.
So my dad transitioned from architecture. In his legacy years, he went into women's education.
We must, you know that?
I know.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Women's education. Let me keep quiet first.
He went to women's education, and he purchased a piece of land out in Mwehoko, which is off Thika Road, built a school, a secondary school. At the time I was in university, so I wasn't involved in any of that. Then he moved on to building and starting a women's university, a science university. So I was, from the get-go, I loved Dr. Ndaro. He threw me in the deep end. I just graduated. He was like, come.
Yes. And do it.
I did the master plan.
Amazing.
50
Stash.
acres.
Well done.
I know.
50 acres. You showed it to me.
50 acres.
Oh,
I was
my
like,
goodness.
But in those days, I was like, I can do it. I mean, really. And I just went on to do it. And I managed.
And do you think it's because you said those days and those days? That's something I would say. Like, do you think when we were younger, we dove into things?
Yes.
And as life has gone and we've processed through life and
I
had the
think
23 years experience, now you're a bit like, I don't know. Why do we do that?
I don't know.
Because
really
I do that as well.
Me too. I'm very cautious. Yeah.
I would be, let's go.
Yes.
What's up? Yeah.
I didn't see it as this
now,
mountain. I just started, I sketched, I got other people, because, I had just come back home and I knew of maybe a model maker, a 3D graphics person. And I was single. I had so much time, and you
just did it.
And
you
I
went
just
straight
did
into
it. Yeah.
But I think that's another thing as women. We have to have a caution. Well, not only as women, but all leaders. And for me, I'm talking because we're both women. Where I have found myself things that I would just, without a thought, go into it.
Right.
I have to have a PowerPoint presentation, a meeting. I'm like, what happened? Just go, just do.
Yeah.
So I'm glad he did that for you. Actually, he did you a
that
favor.
for me. Yes, he did. And of course now we've built so many buildings on that property.
We must have somebody come and talk to us about that university.
Yes,
I love it.
Yes.
I visited the other day and I felt really amazed. I felt amazed at such vision and vision for women.
Absolutely.
So we'll definitely come and talk about that. But I'm glad he did that to you because you see, that's where you have to earn your confidence from somewhere.
Yes.
You have to earn your confidence, like, I can do this. And probably that opened other doors because, and then maybe he thought, maybe I'm sure he's a good father. And he was like, let her come. Let's see whether she's going to get this one done. From this one will be her landing place. You know, maybe. Because that's a father's heart.
Exactly.
Yeah? Let's see what she does. Let's see whether she can do it. But so I give you a place to practice it, sort of.
He did. And the interesting thing, I always thought, okay, he's just, asking me to do it as an, not academic, but he just wanted to see, he had so many architects he could have asked, but he asked me to do it.
That's an honor.
It's an honor. And he went on and built what I drew in many instances, I was just like, Dad, it still needs a bit of tweaking. Are you sure? But of course, with his experience, he will, change what he felt was not working, but he would honor the original design and go for it.
I love
so that obviously just made me feel, oh my God.
It made you feel good. It
very
built up
good.
Your confidence.
Exactly.
That's the right direction from the father.
Yes,
that's what you need from a father.
Absolutely.
And I learned that fathers teach you risk.
They do.
That's important. They do. They say fathers are the people who teach you risk. Because even when I see Matu playing with my granddaughter, I'm like, no. They teach us we're too protective, but fathers teach you, hey, come on, let's go. You can do this. Do this. They throw you in the deep end. They do. That's what they do.
Very decisive.
And that's good for them. That's good for them. I like that. That's what he did. He did that for you. That's so good. So you have memories of projects that you did with him.
Yes, and houses, because he went into real estate, and there were so many projects. Yeah, very many. And then he would push the design. He'll be like, what else? What else can you do? Try something else, I remember there was this big fountain that I had designed, and I thought, oh my God, this is wasteful, in front of one of the buildings at the university, but it was like, no, it's beautiful, it's magnificent. I was trying to change it into something smaller. He was like, no.
And if I like, because I'd like to say, when I came to the university, what I loved is the space. Me, I'm so tired of people who, we can't even turn. We can't even turn in this space. So, why did you do it? So I love that your space, because that building must have designed after you passed.
No.
You designed it before?
Before.
But I love that you've given people space.
Yes.
That's what I love. Not trying to cram people up, but to give people space. So I love that.
Space is luxury, actually.
And then the other thing is the finishes that he really chose.
Yes.
People like me, I'm used to cutting corners.
I know.
But he said, no, this is what we're going to do.
Yes.
And I love that it stands as his legacy.
Yes, it does. Learned a lot,
Amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming to share with us.
Thank you for having me.
God bless you.
It's been
greatly.
so wonderful. Thank you.
All right.
Yes.
God bless.
Thank you.
Bye, Just Angie family. Hope you've learned a lot. Send in your comments, like and subscribe.